Welcome, dear viewers, to another fantastic episode of the Know Your Pharmacist Livestream. I'm Dr. Joaquin Acosta, your host and CEO of Pharmtrue, and I'm thrilled to connect with you guys on this captivating journey through the world of healthcare, technology, and community. Tonight, we have an excellent lineup that's both interesting and creative, designed to stimulate your mind and warm your heart. In our Pharmacist Frontline segment, we're going to dive deep today into the science of NAD+, unraveling its potential to lead us to healthier and longer lives. As we explore this expert topic, we're going to brainstorm the productive ways that it can, impact our well-being. The tech talk we will take into the digital realm, of course, where we're going to collaborate on understanding the complexities of password management. Seniors, non-techies, this one is for you. It's a subject that affects us all, and I'm happy to share some great insights with you. Cool. After that, we're going to jump into our herbal wellness corner and open up a dialogue on natural wellness for children, a subject that's both love-filled and essential. And we're going to connect with experts to provide you the most competent advice there. So I'm going to give a presentation from Bonnie Goldstein that she has, given about medical cannabis and children, and we're going to, talk about the whole thing. So excited to get in there with you guys. Don't miss our community spotlight and men's health minute. We're going to be celebrating local events and essential health tips. So grab a seat, get comfortable, and let's embark on this captivating adventure together. Your journey to better health, knowledge, and community starts right here, right now, guys. Let's make it an unforgettable evening. Big thanks to our sponsors, Pharmtrue, High Horse, the Trichome Alliance at Nevada Speedway Park. Your support makes this excellent show possible. Stay tuned, stay engaged, and let's make tonight's show the best one yet, everybody. Smash a like, smash a share, even if not, take that relevant info and go live a better life. That's all, that'll make me happy at the end of the day. But otherwise, spread the word, guys. We've got some fun stuff coming up tonight. And right now we are talking about NAD+. So what exactly is NAD+? We are going to jump right into this, guys. But first things first, talking about our sponsor for the sponsor for our Pharmacist Frontline segment, guys. Talking about, ladies and gentlemen, celebrating Pharmtrue, our esteemed sponsor of the Pharmacist Frontline segment. Pharmtrue is more than a pharmacy. It's a beacon of innovation and quality, providing pharmacist-formulated cannabis products since 2019 with a commitment to education and trusted, safe, well-designed solutions. Pharmtrue is empowering wellness through community-driven healthcare. Join them in their journey towards a healthier future backed by science and nature. Visit Pharmtrue's website and be part of the revolutionary movement today, as soon as possible. Now hiring as well, so looking for a bartender. Anyways, guys, Pharmacist Frontline, we're talking about NAD+. What the heck is NAD+? Some of you anti-aging buffs may already know what this is to some of these degrees. Some of you regenerative medicine buffs probably already know a little bit about NAD+, and where, it currently has a play in the healthcare world and everything. However, for the rest of the world that, is not very educated on NAD+, this one's for you. So, guys, let's give you guys a little bit of a history of NAD+, the discovery, what the heck this even is, right? So, first described in 1906 by Hardin and Young as a cell component that enhanced alcohol fermentation. So then, after that, in 1936, Warburg showed that NAD is required for redox reactions. And that's where the nomenclature NAD refers to the chemical backbone, irrespective of the charge. NAD plus and NADH refer to both the oxidized and reduced forms, respectively. So, anyways, guys, what does that even stand for? Nicotinamide adenine nucleotide plus as a merge. It's a key regulator of cellular processes that control the body's responses to stress. NAD boosters and small molecules that raise NAD plus levels are now considered to be highly promising for the treatment of multiple diseases and potential extension of the human lifespan. So, right, I think pharmacies and everybody else, well, I want to see data, I want to see studies, this, that, and the other. And, how is it absorbed? How is it distributed? Let's talk about all of this, right? So what is NAD plus in the body? Correct. It's required for over 500 enzymatic reactions in the body. And it plays key roles in the regulations of, most major biological processes. So again, where you look at the cellular processes of aging, NAD levels, NAD plus levels fall as you age. And granted, maybe research has pointed towards other, hormonal drops and these other things, but NAD plus in terms of where it's, being used, brain and nervous system, liver, vasculature, heart, your lymphoids, reproductive organs, kidneys, pancreas, muscles, fat, all the whole 9 yards. So, it's essential for, right, cardioprotective, functions, protecting against cerebrovascular disease, helping to promote cognitive and sensory functions. So again, NAD plus, right, when, some of you guys that may have already seen some of these health crazes around NAD plus and maybe already really are bullish on it, and why that might be, right? Because you could actually be getting some of that youth restored in the function of the NAD plus, signaling pathways in your body to just actually have, effects. So you're looking at liver functions. Enzymes in NAD plus signaling pathways are known to protect the liver from fat accumulation, fibrosis, insulin resistance, which are related to the development of fatty liver diseases, kidney function. Reduced levels of NAD plus in aged kidneys and a corresponding decrease in sirtuin activity are largely responsible for reduced kidney function resilience with age. So interestingly enough, right, guys, I mean, we can go over every single system in the body and see where deficiencies of NAD plus are contributing to the further decline with aging. So again, what could the potential impact of NAD plus boosters actually be on human health and the NAD plus signaling pathways? That's the $1 million question. And where you're going to already see it offered out in healthcare clinics to some of these degrees of NAD plus injections, at home or in the clinic, or infusions, IV. One of the things with NAD plus is it's actually not a very stable molecule. So it has to be injected right after, it's been mixed, basically, is what that means. And that makes it very interesting because sometimes you might see it online sold as pre-mixed, right? And what could that even mean? What could they be using to try to stabilize it? And is it even a legit product? So again, guys, big time reminder when it comes down to online pharmacies and the, reputable ones and things like that, always got to be very careful. You never know where your source could be coming from. So, some of these things like NAD plus might be things that you can kind of, to some degree, buy quote unquote black market just straight up on the internet. And better to talk to a healthcare provider and make sure that this actually comes from a reputable source. Really knowing if you are going to spend big money on something like an NAD plus booster, that, well, this is a very, unstable molecule. Let me get some of the facts on that. So again, basically unstable at warm temperatures. I mean, the half-life of NAD plus is already looking at, 1 to 2 hours in the cytoplasm. This thing just, it doesn't last. And that's where I think maybe it can just be a very questionable way of making and preparing the medication and what they might use to stabilize and preserve the NAD plus. So you can buy them in the already loaded syringes. It may come in different, in different ways. But again, something to keep in mind when, sourcing it and choosing a provider and all that. So, you will look at the oral supplements for NAD plus, and something you want to see there is because of that stability that it's really, really, you're not going to find it oral. So there is one supplement on the market that's like an oral NAD plus, and it tries to, call itself this. It's called True Niagen. And again, I've seen people, really look for NAD plus boosters here in town, things like that. And granted, some people want a pill. Some people really just, you get that question after people have already seen the clinics, they've seen the high prices, they've seen the things that they don't like, and then they come asking for the pill. And if you know where to get it, well, the pill, right, is not very cheap at all right now. So this True Niagen, you're looking at like $120 a box. I will go ahead and put that in the chat points there, for the oral version of NAD plus being the new rage and anti-aging. So again, always be careful when it comes out to these things. Granted, guys, human growth hormone has been out for a long time. Those peptides, all these things, NAD plus on the kind of newer spectrum of the list. So we still don't have all the data on it, but relatively safe when you look at, your body's glutamate production and the way that all works. Some of these beauty clinics really like the idea of NAD plus for skin regeneration and, anti-aging and wrinkles and some of that. So kind of different strokes for different folks, to tell you the truth, but always talk to your doctor, and don't, always, when it comes to that kind of stuff and most things in life, believe, half of what you see and none of what you hear at that point to some degree, right? Trust your doctors, but Dr. Google is a heck of a doctor to trust. So again, guys, that's not who we talk about is Dr. Google. Dr. Google is just, the enemy. Just kidding, not the enemy, but right now, it's not, it doesn't replace a doctor. So there's that. Cool. Anybody ever tried NAD plus or NAD plus supplements? Anybody got anything to say about it? Feel free to post those in the chat, Curious. So anyways, guys, moving on to the next topic, talking about technology. So we're going to look at Tech Talk here, talking about managing passwords in the digital age. Something that seems pretty, root and drill for most people. Most people think, they have one way or another about managing passwords. And guys, this is not a, hey, you're a bad, password manager kind of person. It's just kind of opening up the mind of, hey, how can you change a habit there? Because that's pretty crazy, right? If you do not remember your passwords, or you're using, passwords that, right, are very vulnerable. So again, check out this interesting survey here. And when it comes to, health, privacy, and data, one of the top things that patients can do to, advocate for themselves and their own privacy is probably protect their passwords, make sure that, their data really, really isn't getting out there. So again, the harp on that, how do you fix that, right? Password managers. That's you're going to hear that one already, as the number one recommended solution, like a real password manager, and what that actually means, not just, the notepad in your phone, right? Not a piece of paper, not a sticky note posted on your computer, right? So, these are these things. And this study right here suggested, the average person has 100 passwords. So saying here that, 100 passwords, of course, is too many to remember, which already leads to what other type of vulnerabilities, right? Repetitive passwords, easy to remember passwords. So again, the average number of passwords per, human beings in the United States, you're looking at 100 plus. And think about how easy that could be to at one point have, credit cards, bank accounts, health data, all these things. And imagine having them tied by one password that's compromised now, right? So where can, the average Joe, right, not someone that's worked for, a business that's been high tech and already knows these processes, how does the average person, how does the average patient, right, community member enjoy a extra level of protection that they can actually to some degree try to control, right? I mean, definitely number one, having some password, etiquette, best password practice there should really always, if you're running through a password manager, whether it's the Apple password manager, your Google password manager, one of those central password managers, you're able to really keep a lot more better track of all your passwords in a secure location, right? And they will create and suggest, strong passwords on behalf of you and whatever account that you're going to make. And so you can just, create whatever account you're going to make on the spot. Your password manager is, what I mean? It's already integrated to whatever platform you're using. So your password manager is an extension of correct, right? If it's Google Chrome or Safari. So that integrates with all your apps, your Android device, your Apple device, and the password manager thus, yes, suggests passwords, one, and two, keeps them different and manages them in a safe, secure space. So, folks, parents, right, are boomers, guys, it's really easy to all of a sudden have found yourself in a world where maybe you needed one password to get into your computer at work, to all of a sudden now you are within the mix of 100 average, having 100 passwords on average, just floating out there in cyberspace, protecting, supposed to be the, your door, your key to your door, right? Your front door. So you need to leave it open, or you could actually be mindful about what's going on in there and try to, get a hold of that. So again, right, if you have a password manager, it's going to make sure that you're using long, secure passphrases. Everything's different. It's not sensitive, and guessable information. It can help you update your passwords. And the other thing, guys, is looking at, right, two-factor authorization. So if you have a password manager, and again, a password manager usually is already built into whatever device that you're using. So if you are a senior, if you're a, just not a tech savvy person, try to connect with somebody that can help show you those things. Say, hey, I really do want to protect my digital privacy a little bit better. I need to get my, password manager figured out. Now, at this point, most people should be able to get on YouTube or whatever it is and try to reason for that. But not everybody is, we're not all there yet. So that's why this is an important conversation for Tech Talk. We talk about, the rise of AI and these other things, and people are worried, but are people even doing, the proper housekeeping on their own data, right, to the best possible ways already, or even have an awareness of how to do so. So that's what we're here to talk about in the Tech Talk. I think you guys kind of get the mute point there. I'm going to move on. All right. So we're going to jump into the Enlightenment Hour, guys. Talking in Enlightenment Hour, we are going to be talking about exercise, mindset, intervention. So again, why am I, checking this out? Well, this is pretty cool. Again, guys, Stanford University Mind Body Lab has all types of research and interventions out for free public, use on how to really optimize the mind. And if you think about that, what the mind believes the body can and will achieve, set your mind to it physically, mentally, you can get yourself to places not imaginable by most people, and that's how most people get to where they are, right? So how do you tap into that? How do you exercise that in a better way, where fear doesn't become your driver, where stress doesn't become your driver and lead down a path of, negativity, to flip that on the other side and use it for positive growth, which science literally proves that you have the ability to flip it in your own mind, and then you can astronomically make a heck of a difference after you do that. So again, looking at answering, right, our health questions in our situations, guys, I think it's interesting, right? So back in the 60s, JFK had a way that he put exercise back to, or, he wanted exercise in the high schools. And I'm going to show you guys and give you a little bit of a take on that. So excuse me for the delay.
John F. Kennedy has a personal message for all of us on this important subject.
I welcome this opportunity to speak to the people of America about a subject which I believe to be most important, and that is the subject of physical fitness. And I speak not only as President of the United States, but also as a parent of 2 children who I hope will grow up with those qualities of vigor and energy which we identify with the best of America. This should be a matter of concern to us all. A country is as strong really as its citizens. And I think that mental and physical health, mental and physical vigor go hand in hand. I hope that we will not find a day in the United States when all of us are spectators except for a few who are out on the field. I hope all Americans will be on the field. That is, they will concern themselves with the education of their children, with the physical development of their children, with the participation in the vigorous life, and then also as their children get older, inculcate into them a desire to maintain that vigor through their normal life. Our citizens are living longer, and we want them to participate fully in that longer life. But they can only do so if they give some of their time and some of their effort to maintaining that vitality. This is a subject which should be of interest to us all. And I hope when we have seen the astonishing results which we have seen from our work in a few schools across the country, where we've been able in the short space of 2 and 3 months to change the physical habits and strength of our children, that this will spread to every school district in the United States, that all of us will participate in the life around us, and in so doing will be better citizens and happier ones. This is a challenge for us all, children, boys and girls, college students, mothers and fathers, and all of us, I think, should welcome it. I hope all of you will join in a great national effort to build a strong and better America through physical effort and through the contributions we can make by the drive and force we bring to our daily lives.
All right, so what you see there, a speech from JFK on his physical fitness program. And guys, I thought it was just kind of fitting because, of course, the election season is starting to become upon us. And this was just interesting what the United States was up to back in 1962, right? So JFK's physical fitness program was called the U.S. Physical Fitness Program. The program aimed to increase the nation's strength. Now, his fitness test was pretty hardcore. Nothing that you really see today. And guys, I know that, most people that go to school and play sports and maybe some of these other types of routine athletics can look at, right, that physical fitness program and think, well, ours is a little bit more adapted. But think about every kid in high school, having to do, a fitness test. The presidential physical fitness test of JFK was sit-ups time for a minute, push-ups as many as possible without resting, pull-ups as many as possible, or flexed arm hang as long as possible, a 30-foot shovel run, a V-seat reach, and a 1-mile run. So again, just a very interesting take about, how he looked at that in his era. And as he's talking about the vitality, correct, of Americans. And guys, this is the physical fitness pamphlet from back in the day. This is just pretty cool. It had the message there from JFK, right? High schoolers just incredibly fit, specific program for women, tests, samples. Not bad, right? Wouldn't believe it. I mean, nothing like the government gives us out today. Granted, you have all kinds of data available, but, things have changed to that degree. And some people, the conspiracy theorists will probably say that, hey, well, the government really has just designed a program to, keep us working and not thinking. And whether or not that's true, it's just very interesting that the evolution of what we think is, important when it comes to healthcare kind of maybe gets a little diluted, at least in the capitalistic market, right? Maybe you see more advertising on the solution versus the prevention because you can make a little bit more money on the solution. People don't want to die, so they pay every last dollar. But people are, so distracted that they can't manage to stay healthy to live a regular life. So, not to by any means call anybody out. Everybody has the ability to change at any time. It's just what is the national environment that, we are in there, right? So all worth thinking about. Again, looking at this video, guys, talking about mindset and exercise and where, what can you change in your mindset to help induce some better exercise, right? What does that even mean? So I'm going to connect you guys here again with the resource for the intervention. So if anybody wants to mess around and, do the brain training on exercise and health and wellness, guys, that's absolutely, something I hope that you can take a look at, play around with in your wheelhouse. Hope it's a good resource. Going to put this up here. So again, looking at the intervention.
Are you getting enough exercise? Do you need to run and lift weights several times a week to get enough exercise? Or is it enough to just go about your daily routine, perhaps walking to work, carrying a child, or playing with a dog? Your answers to these questions make up your exercise mindset. On the one hand, you might have the mindset that you're not getting enough exercise. On the other hand, you might have the mindset that you are getting enough exercise. The interesting thing about mindsets is that they're not necessarily right or wrong. In fact, two people doing the exact same amount of exercise might have different mindsets about whether that exercise is enough or not enough to make them healthy. Importantly, it turns out that what we believe to be true can become true. In one study, for example, Harvard researchers asked 84 room attendants working in hotels across the country if they were getting enough exercise. All the attendants were in fact getting enough exercise through their daily work, as their jobs involved a lot of walking, pushing, and lifting. In spite of this, most of them did not think of their work as exercise. When asked if they got regular exercise, most of them said no. Then, the researchers took these room attendants and split them into two groups. One group was trained that their work was good exercise, enough to meet the Surgeon General's requirements for a healthy lifestyle. The other group was not told anything. They were the control group. After 4 weeks, participants' health was measured. What do you think happened to the group of attendants who started to view their work as enough exercise? Well, after just 4 weeks, these attendants who now had the mindset that their exercise was good enough lost weight and body fat and lowered their systolic blood pressure. The control group of attendants who still had the mindset that they were not getting enough exercise did not change. In other words, the mindsets the hotel room attendants had about exercise led to changes in their bodies. Counting their work as exercise helped people adopt the mindset that they were getting enough exercise. And as a result, they received the health benefits. Another factor that might influence your exercise mindset is how much exercise you think you're getting compared to other people. Stanford researchers recently studied a sample of more than 60,000 Americans and examined how active they thought they were compared to others their age. Regardless of how much exercise people were actually getting, some thought that they were less active than their peers. How do you think this mindset affected their health? These people, who had the mindset that their exercise was not enough, actually died sooner than the people who thought their exercise was good enough, no matter how much exercise they were actually getting. These two studies show how mindsets impact not only weight and blood pressure, but also how long you live. But don't forget, mindsets also impact how you feel in your everyday life. In fact, the mindset that you are getting enough exercise can lead to improvements in mood, anxiety, depression, and fatigue. In short, this research shows that our mindsets about exercise can powerfully shape our health and well-being.
So that's, gist of that is click through it. You can answer the couple survey questions and go through the interactive e-videos, right, for the exercise kind of brain retraining there. And it's just an interesting concept because, of course, the mind is a very powerful, thing. And again, talking about how, right, can that perception of how you think you exercise, how is that actually affecting your health outcomes? Well, that scarcity mindset of I'm not getting enough exercise, this isn't for me, had worse health outcomes, right, on the hotel employees over time. And just all compounding effects for multiple outputs in the life. What your brain says about your body, right? The classic si se puede mentality, right? Everything's going to be okay to those degrees. That mindset of the perception of, maybe I'm at rock bottom with my weight today. Maybe I'm at rock bottom with my physique today, but can it get better and better every day? Yes. And can, you be the one championing for how you feel about that? Absolutely. And enough can be enough. And, finding that comfort in there is the secret to unlocking, right, the true value out of being able to settle in, create that new habit over time, lose weight, and not have all types of fight or flight stress responses in your body because you are unsettled with the progress of your weight loss or your health, which thus creates other inflammatory problems in the body, which thus adds back on the weight, increases your blood pressure, shaves years off your life. So it ain't worth it. Anyways, if the data suggesting that it ain't worth it isn't enough to motivate you, then gosh. Anyways, moving on, guys, to our Enlightenment Hour. Jumping on up, out of our Enlightenment Hour to our Herbal Wellness Corner, we are looking at cannabis in children, guys. Want to go over a little bit of Bonnie Goldstein data with y'all. I think you guys already are pretty aware of who she is, again. And if you're not, she is a medical doctor out of California. She's the owner and medical director of Canna Centers Wellness and Education out of California. She has, done so much for cannabis and autism and for cannabis in general, but cannabis and pediatrics, Bonnie Goldstein is your provider. So guys, I'm going to show you just a couple different things here because earlier this week and everything, we are talking about cannabis intoxication, cannabis impairment, cannabis in youth, cannabis and vaping. And to circle back, I just want to make sure that we get a good look on, hey, well, let's look at this. So for the view here on the slideshow, guys, make sure that actually properly gets going to you guys. Cool. So again, phytocannabinoids, guys. And as we continue to talk about CBD, THC, CBDA, CBG, what that even is or means, right? Well, the overall production of it equals the entourage effect. The entourage effect, has clinical applications in children, You're looking at endocannabinoid deficiency or dysfunction, treatment-resistant epilepsy, autism spectrum disorder, ADD, ADHD, Tourette syndrome, cancer, autoimmune, psychiatric, GI, Epilepsy, you guys, I don't know if everybody knows about Epidiolex. And Epidiolex is CBD. It's the prescription grade, synthetic, derived from plant, but it is, again, pharma grade. Taken in higher doses for epilepsy, looking here at averaging 4.3 milligrams per kilogram per day here. So anywhere in that, so 4 milligrams per kilogram a day. So say I'm a 200-pound man, so 100 kilograms, more or less, times 4. All right, it'd be looking at 400 milligrams of CBD a day for me. And again, there were ratios here, CBD to THC, 15 to 1s, 20 to 1s. And those are the kinds of ratios you're going to see in the pediatric kind of sector. Again, Epidiolex, FDA approved for Dravet syndrome and Lennox-Gastaut. 2 different types of epilepsies. And this is a pretty cool, use patient that she showed, And these are true, breakthrough case study stories that Bonnie Goldstein has had with their patients. 2 years seizure-free, 1 year pharma-free, 1 year seizure-free, 5 months pharmaceutical-free, Isaiah, intractable epilepsy. No pharmaceutical has ever stopped my seizures ever. I was having seizures every 30 to 45 seconds today. I am 1 month pharmaceutical-free and 6 months seizure-free. Big thanks to God. Cannabis is medicine. So again, that's a very powerful, moving, story and use case there. And there's just, guys, there's so much data. It's insane. But look at CBG on autism. You know, we talked about things yesterday. Better mood, increased. You know, what sort of medications are kids already using that they're able to get off of? Antipsychotics, anti-epileptics, antidepressants, hypnotics and sedative, anxiolytics, right? Very, very interesting. So, you know, autism, what could that be? Is it a you know, mutation with the endocannabinoid system? Still up to research. And where you look at the study of a 20-to-1 CBD to THC oil, starting dose CBD 1 milligram per kilogram today, titrated up to a max 10 mg per kg today. You know, kids still on treatment at the end, 73%. And there was a 60 children study. So important. There's use. We don't exactly know, right? You can see mood improvements, behavioral improvements, communication improvements with cannabis and autism spectrum disorder. And again, this is CBD, but, you know, talking about an age where cannabis is absolutely forbidden in pregnancy, cannabis is very stigmatized in the youth. We fear what we do not know. Granted, is there limited data to what you do know? Yes, absolutely. But I'm going to link something here, guys. The WPA 4HA, or 4A, excuse me. Whole plant access for autism. So for parents that may need a resource, right? For parents that may have that question about, my child has epilepsy, my child has autism, I have questions about cannabis. There are communities piloted by Bonnie Goldstein right here. She is on the advisory board of the Whole Plant for Autism community, guys. It's a cool website. You know, I'm going to show that here. Helping families help their children naturally, resources about dispensaries with discounts. They've even got calculators here, guys, which is pretty cool. You know, you can make edibles. They've got calculators for that. They've got, you know, if you're a member, you can, you know, do all of this cool math. And granted, pharmacists can help you with that math too. But it's just awesome. So again, worth talking about, worth connecting, worth advocating for the people who may be scared that options are not out there and available for them. And I'm here for you guys 100%. All right, you know who else we're also here for after I shout out our sponsor of our Herbal Wellness Corner segment, guys. Shouting out to High Horse Cannabis Company, the trailblazers of the cannabis industry and proud sponsors of our Herbal Wellness Corner segment, as you guys just heard. Dispensaries in Chaparral, New Mexico, Valley Drive, and North Main Street in Las Cruces, soon to be in Hobbs, New Mexico. High Horse is your go-to destination for quality cannabis products, committed to professionalism, respect, and helping people. High Horse is changing the lives for the better. Visit one of their locations and experience the High Horse difference. Check out their website and discover the future of cannabis today. Coolio. So, moving on, community spotlight. Just wanted to shout out, guys, please be sure to support your local communities. And what does that mean? Earlier this week, we were shouting out and supporting Centennial High School cheerleading team with the Papa John's promotion, and that was awesome. So the next thing I wanted to shout out here was our Oregon Mountain High School cheer team. They are having a butter braid promotion, guys. When was the last time you guys had butter braids? Delicious, right? Great to have on hand for the holidays, everything like that. So again, you can actually go and purchase, you know, butter braids delivered to your house here in Las Cruces, supporting your local Oregon Mountain cheer team. link in the chat for those of you guys looking for some butter braids, delicious, enjoy and support local cheer. And 2 cheer teams we got shouted out this week, as the former mascot of New Mexico State University, Pistol Pete. I was on the cheer team myself, so guys, alma mater right there already, baby. But anyways, moving on, last portion of the segment tonight, guys. Talking about our Men's Health Minute. Before we go there, special shout out to the Trichome Alliance, a harmonious sponsor for the Community Spotlight. Join the Trichome Alliance at the Butt Cancer Gala on September 21st, 2023 at Amador Live for an unforgettable Italian-style dinner and play. Early bird tickets are $65 before August 31st and $75. Password will be given to enter the exclusive gala, and it's going to be a unique experience here in New Mexico. Support the Trichome Alliance's mission of advocacy, education, and community connection. Get your tickets at the Trichome Alliance's website and be a part of the extraordinary event. Very cool. Anyways, lastly, Men's Health Minute, guys, brought to you by Vado Speedway Park. Last but not least, ignite your excitement for Vado Speedway Park, our thrilling sponsor for the Men's Health Minute. Feel the rush of adrenaline with the thrilling races and join me, Dr. Joaquin Acosta, your color commentator at Vado Speedway Park. Whether you're a racing fan or seeking a weekend thrill, Vado Speedway Park delivers unmatched excitement. Visit Vado Speedway Park's website today and fuel your passion for speed. Guys, we have a super awesome bike giveaway on Saturday, so make sure bring your kids out to Vado Speedway Park. 131 bikes are going to be given away to kids just for entering. So, enter into the stadium to come watch some great racing, enter into the racetrack, and bring your kid, bring your nieces and nephews. They will automatically be entered to win a free bike, guys. How cool is that? You just have to get it out of the racetrack at the end of the night. That's your job. Okay, cool. So moving on, guys, talking last portion of the night, the impact of smoking on men's health. So again, how do men quit smoking? What do you need to know about smoking in men's health, right? Well, we completely understand that nicotine is a physically addictive substance, correct? And we're already at that point. But the decision to quit smoking can literally be one of the most important choices you'll ever make in your life. As a pharmacist, we are able to prescribe tobacco cessation, which is great. But how do you actually do that, right? Like nicotine gum and patches are the, typical combo at higher doses, weaning down, right? Can you get into different medications, bupropion, of course, you can get into these things. So how does one actually hit the ability to quit smoking? Because there's other psychological plays that come into it, right? Hand to mouth. The hand to mouth is a very, easy habit. Cravings can come. How do you find new habits? How do you empower yourself to continue to quit and remind yourself to think about why you quit? Check out these facts, guys. Smoking causes 9 out of 10 lung cancer deaths. Smoking is a major cause for chronic diseases, including COPD, bronchitis, emphysema, coronary heart disease, stroke, and cancer. Over 480,000 Americans each year die because of cigarettes. So not only bad breath, pungent smells and fertility issues can smoking cause, but yes, about 500,000 deaths every year in America, including deaths from secondhand smoke. Secondhand smoke kills nearly 50,000 non-smokers per year. So again, guys, smoking, major cause of cardiovascular disease, heart disease and stroke. Does it increase the risk of blood clots? Yes. Right? If you're a woman over 30 and you're going to have high blood pressure and you smoke and you want to be on birth control, something's got to give. Otherwise, you are going to probably be at an incredible risk for a stroke. So again, cigarette smoking increases that risk for both men and for women. Men's Health Minute, right? Do men smoke more than women? Absolutely. And back in the day, it wasn't so much, but right now, there's about a 3% gender gap difference in cigarette tobacco smoking use. And, that is current. What is changing, though, is vaping. So vaping, which is, again, addictive, has high doses of unrecognized nicotine, really can change the future of the way we consume nicotine. And it may really change the, shape of who's using it and who's not. But if I'm a betting man, I would say men are probably going to continue to use it more than women. And again, quitting is hard. But you already know your chances of getting lung cancer are ridiculous. You're shaving years off your life with the cancer sticks. Talk to your doctor about getting off. Talk to your pharmacist about getting off. Cool thing about pharmacists in New Mexico, most of them can prescribe tobacco cessation and actually help you through it. But lots of options out there, guys. Men's Health Minute. So we got today. Thank you guys for everybody. It's been a great stream, and we're going to jump off. I hope everybody has a wonderful evening. Peace and love.